for me. I will give you an overview in English on what we are. We are 3 persons working at the University of Bern in a center that is called Center for Development and Environment. And then we are joining this project with the Archive of Agriculture, which then after myself will give a short overview of the institutional background that Peter Moser is bringing into this hopefully a nice workshop that we are just starting right now. So, you see the slides are in French and I talk in English, but my mother tongue is German, so let me see how this works out. But first of all, once again, thank you very much for having taken time to join this workshop. We are very happy that the echo was so big. We were not really very sure whether what we have to offer is of your interest, but apparently it looks like being of your interest, and we are very happy about this. So what is the Center of Development and Environment? We got specialized as a university center in doing research for promoting sustainable development, and not only doing research about sustainable development. This small difference is very important for us. We think the university has a societal obligation to do research that is not showing nice theories, but we have to be part of a transformation of the actual society, where we all know that there are so many things that have to be changed, that have to be improved, and we think we can be part of such a movement, but not alone, as we will see later, but working together with you and many other actors outside the university. So our approach is therefore called an approach that is inter- and transdisciplinary. Transdisciplinary means that we are convinced that knowledge that we need for furthering sustainable development can only be produced in a network of actors being part of the university, of the academic community, but also being engaged with many actors outside. So what we are doing actually right now is, of course, being at part of the university. We are teaching in aula, that you know all quite well. What is the source of knowledge for our teaching, for our interaction with other societal actors? This is research. We do research mainly in 3 different groups. I do not go to the details here because I think that might be too theoretic to dive into this. But what you can see here at the right hand are some of the projects that we are doing, where you can get an idea of what we do research about. One project of research we are just starting right now together with you. So it's about solidarity economy, or social economy, like it's sometimes called in English, in relationship to the movements of or for organic agriculture, agroecology. Then we do quite some work on the effects that this phenomenon, global phenomenon of land grabbing is having. Switzerland is one of the hubs where a lot of investments all over the world are made in acquiring large surfaces of land in Africa and Asia and many other contexts. And we think it's an obligation to show what are mainly negative impacts of this kind of investments to the people in Switzerland and other countries in Europe, which are host countries of this kind of phenomenon. Then we are also embraced in having a look on how policies are carved out. Many times the political agendas are full of received positive intentions, but then when it comes to practice, we see that these intentions, good intentions, are disappearing step by step. So we want to find out what are the mechanisms making that good policies are not giving automatically good results. So we try to understand this, and then we are also engaged in several research projects where the main issue is about production of innovations, be it in the technical, social, or economic realm. And then what is important for us also is not to be only moving around within the university context, but to go out, bring professors, bring students out to the field, as you can see here, and try to see to what degree the theory that comes from the university is able to connect with reality. Because we think training at the university is useless if you do not confront it permanently with what you find in the field. And then, as I was saying already, we are very much engaged also in bringing our reflection to a wider societal public. Here, a picture from Miguel Altieri. Maybe you might have heard of him, one of the experts in agroecology, discussing in the university with a broad spectrum of other stakeholders. So, having said this, I think you get an idea of what we are, and I pass over the floor to Stefan Moser.
Thank you. I will follow the path Stefan has laid out in terms of languages. My mother tongue is German as well, but I'll give you some explanation about the Archives of Rural History in English. We are an independent association, institution. Independent means we are not state-sponsored. All we do is we do it with those who are actually participating. What we do in the research work, that's different. I will come to that. We do mainly two things. We document what you are doing. So we have been working with over 190 associations, documenting their documents, their records they have produced over the 19th and 20th century, over the last 15 years. It's a unique institution in Europe, but we are working closely together with Europe. We are much better known in Europe than in Switzerland, but maybe we will come into contact with some of you as well. It's very important that you who work today, we as historians, we are interested in the past, but we live in the present. So we are interested in what you are doing, and we are trying to document and archiving this as well. What that does mean in practical work, we cannot go into it at the moment, but as I said, it's very important for associations, institutions, initiatives like yours. It's very important that you document this as well, because the future generations will depend on that knowledge to develop that knowledge into the future. So paradoxically, we are interested in the past, but we are working for the future. What we also do is we are in the research work, we publish work on historical development, agriculture, but we don't understand the agriculture isolated. We see it, if you take a picture, if you take a dog, the tail, agriculture is the tail of the dog. The brain, you have to look at the brain to understand the tail. So that's the reason why we are interested in the industrial society, which has shaped agriculture over the last 150 years to a certain extent. So we have research projects dealing on the agrarian industrial knowledge society, on films as a source. Films, when it came to produce films in the early 20th century, agriculture was a pioneer sector to do that. And the project we have just finished now, it's on the alcohol question. It's a pleasant topic to do, the alcohol question in the 19th and 20th century. And more or less everything we do, you can follow up on our online platforms. You get access to them via our website. Yeah, I think this is all I have to say. Maybe it has to be explained why we as historians are participating in such a project. We are only a very minor partner in this project, but nonetheless, all we do has a history, and the history has a prehistory, and it's more complex. And those who do not acknowledge that they are part of history, they are guided by history. But those who acknowledge that they are part of the history, they can interpret history, and that enables them to create a better present and do something for the future. So that's what I from my side have to say. Oh, sorry, I have just what kind of sources? Yeah, I was going to say, of course, the things you're thinking of, minutes, correspondence, whatever it is, but also sources like that. I saw that one of the participants who will speak just after, in a few minutes or in half an hour or so, it's important to document such things as that. You know, this is, you could say, how you look at the picture. This is educating a horse, but there are other traditions of making horses available to men. That's breaking horses. So people have different methods to deal with different types of tools at different times. So that's important. So I just chose this picture.